All right. Hello, everybody. It is November 14th. Black Friday is upon us. It's coming up fast. So hopefully you're ready. Uh, a lot of really cool stuff going on right now. I keep saying this and it keeps getting better, but this is an incredible time to be alive with all of the technology that is just laid at our fingertips. It's just amazing. Keeps blowing my mind. But anyway, one of the things I haven't really talked about lately, or actually, I don't know if I've talked at all about this with you guys, is the idea of the future of search engines, like SEO. I've been out of SEO here for a while. Doesn't mean I don't have my eye on it. And it's making an interesting shift. Started to do this a couple of years ago when they started putting answers and suggestions of what you might want to look for. But what I'm seeing now creep into the fold is actually the ability to optimize bots. Like the way that we've got bots on the site for customer service and to answer questions, there are ways that you can program into those bots that are appealing to the search engines. So the search engines could, well, I'm not going to say could, they are prioritizing sites that have that capability. So I'm looking into the parameters of what is moving the needle and potentially put together either a training or some software or something to help do that for anybody that's interested. So haven't it might not be my final hurrah in SEO. I might be back for an encore. Jim, you had something?
No, just saying I'm interested.
Oh, gotcha. You want to see my encore come back? Very cool. Craig, go ahead.
Hey John, how are you? How is everyone? Yeah, I'd be interested in that as well because I'm currently looking into um getting out in front with with leveraging chat GPT and voice-based search into that and ask engine optimization, which I think is gonna supplant SEO relatively soon. So it's just couple simple things you have to do, update your schema on your websites and give it little snippets of code for the voice-based search to find. So
Yeah.
yeah, I love the, collab from a technical perspective on that with you because I'm already into that workflow now.
Yeah, cool. I'm gonna reach out to Herc. I don't know if you know him. He runs Exagio software, and it's a plugin for WordPress, and they're doing a lot of AI stuff inside the plugin.
Mm,
I don't know if he's onto this yet or not, but like I would much rather work with somebody else that's already developed the software and just come in and help them adjust it, maybe white label it or whatever, rather than me build it from scratch. And I know he's got a big head start on that. So
right.
he would be a good one for me to hook up with and potentially build something really phenomenal.
Cool. Exciting times ahead, I tell you.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And as far as our white label, we had talked about white labeling Quantum. I've got that up and ready and available. I haven't really done any videos on it though to explain like really what it's all about. It could be a little confusing. So I wanted to kind of cover that today in case anybody is, trying to chip this out for Black Friday and do some sort of a quantum white label for that. I won't have like I've been talking about doing that 3-day event too, where I'll actually do it for you if anybody's interested in that, kind of like an enterprise level. But we did the initial recordings yesterday. I walked Brady through it. We set him up as a white label, kind of walked through. We found a couple of glitches. So obviously we're in beta on this. So there are some glitches still in the system. but we'll work with that, work with the coders, get that all dialed in. But here's how it works. There is now a tool. It looks like a tool inside the control panel in Quantum that says white label. There's also two other tools next to it. One of the tools is called God mode. God mode is a part of the white label. So if you click on either of those or the one next to that that's called Training Wizard, all three of those are a combination of the white label tools. So they're not available just in the regular Quantum. If you click on any of them, you'll get the same pop-up window that prompts you to upgrade to the white label version. If you do, it opens all three tools. You don't have to buy each tool. It says it's $97 a month when you click on each of the tools, but that's for the white label, which includes all of them. So the white label is $97 a month. It's an add-on. It's not part of your Quantum. It's an add-on piece to it. So it's not like you don't need Quantum anymore. You still need Quantum because it's the base level. So this is just an add-on upgrade to Quantum. Once you get the white label, you can decide if you want to use any of my tools that I've already got in there. You can turn them on or off. You can use the God mode to build your own tools. So you could build a complete set of your own proprietary tools, throw all mine out the window. Doesn't matter to me. Whatever makes you happy. You could also take any of my tools and you could rename them. You could repurpose them. You could make them look like they're unique to you. I'm perfectly fine with that. That's what they're there for. So you could ultimately come up with a set of tools that is absolutely unique to you, to your company, and you would look like you were the AI king. You would look like you've got this fantastic suite of tools, and you would have. So it's really a cool thing for a company. Doesn't matter if you're starting out or what, AI is hot. Like selling Quantum has been, I thought Acquisitionaire was easy, but I got to tell you, selling Quantum brought me down the pyramid. You know, we've got the pyramid of awareness, and at the top of the pyramid, that's your most lucrative part, but it's also the hardest to crack. When you get to the bottom of the pyramid, you're in the level of unaware. That's where your biggest opportunity is. That's your easiest access point to entry into any market, is in the base of the pyramid of awareness. So that's where everybody is with AI. They're literally unaware of it. Yeah, they've heard of it. Maybe they've played with ChatGPT, but then you come in with all of these tools that just solve all their problems. And you're like, you walk on water. It's that kind of a thing. So, you know, if you want to really give your business a leg up, all you've got to do is take a handful of the tools that I've got that make sense for your audience, rename them to your brand name, add a couple of new unique tools that's specific to your audience. Like if you're in the publishing business, it'd be really easy for you to make a few publishing tools, like ideas for a book, outlines for the ideas that are created from that tool, and just have a sequence of tools where they just go from one to the next, just like what I've done with ACT. You know, you go to the market segmenter, it tells you your profitable segment. Then you go to the build a buyer, and it'll tell you, it'll literally mind read the buyer, tell you exactly what they want, why they want it, give you the languaging that you need to speak that's music to their ears. You know, you just go down the tools, and all of a sudden now you've got your marketing campaign put together. So you could do that with any industry, publishing, real estate. We've got one tool in there called the Listing Pro for realtors. That tool will write creative listings. Like if you're listing houses in the MLS, that's like optimization. You're on the page with a bunch of other people. Whoever has the best listing is going to get the clicks. So if you're in the real estate business, I bet you want to sell houses or you want to get people to list with you. If you're not the one they're clicking on, guess where all those customers are going? To the others on the page. That's a really bad idea for you. Just if you didn't know, that's a bad idea. You want them coming to you. And the only way you're going to do that is for you to shine. That's what AI can do. It can make you shine. And these tools give you the ability to do that. So it's really, really a huge advantage for a business to have tools. And if you've heard the word SaaS, SaaS, that is the most lucrative part of my business is SaaS software. It has been since the beginning. SaaS means it's software as a service. So Acquisitionaire, the SaaS software. Quantum, SaaS software. My Site Pop, SaaS software. Even Act could be looked at as SaaS software because it's a membership site. It's software. Everybody pays for access to it. And they pay monthly over and over and over. Software as a service. It's an incredible model. It's the recurring revenue model. I even look at my hosting company somewhat as a SaaS software service. Hosting is software, no matter how you slice it. It's recurring revenue. Almost everything I do in my business is based on recurring revenue. So in your business, think about it. Do you have that? And again, I might actually add this to the year-end, our year-end exercise. Do you have recurring products for sale? And another thing I would add is how many did you add this year? I'm like stacking them on as fast as I can right now because opportunities like falling from the sky. So that is something that is really, it's a huge opportunity. And one of the things I'm trying to do to help with this is like open up the white label for any of you that like starting a SaaS software from scratch is quite an operation. I've done it multiple times and it's a bear. It's not for the faint of heart. There are a ton of people out there that they don't want to do what you guys might want to do, and that's sell to customers. You guys don't want to do what they want to do, which is build software. So collaborating with somebody, like if you're in the business and you love to work with people, and you want customers, you need to find somebody that will do the other work for you because you can't do it all. If you're building software, you're not talking to customers. And most guys that build software, you wouldn't want them talking to your customers because they're cut from a different cloth. They're not real personable. Somebody, and I've seen this over and over and over throughout my whole life. The guys that resonate with people, or the girls, the women that resonate with people, they're really good at it. But they need to stay in their lane. Put them into software development, you're going to have a disaster. And the same way around, if you take a developer that's really good at building software and you put him in charge of sales, good luck. You're going to have a disaster. So there's two ways to do that. You can either, well, actually, there's three ways. You can either hire them in, and now you've got employee problems, which I hate. You can partner with people, which I also don't like that because partnerships get convoluted. I've never seen like a real partnership between people that somehow didn't go awry in some way. And the other way is to license. Find somebody that's done something really good, license it from them, and white label and have your own SaaS software. I've done this repeatedly over and over and over. There's some like SitePop I actually built myself, not myself as a coder, but that was something where I developed a team and we actually built it under our own roof. And what a pain in the ass that was. I don't know how else I would have done it though, because that was stuff that was in my brain and that's the only place it lived. And it had to come out and get developed and I don't see how I could have done that any other way. But that just is what it is, and it was a great thing, and it's still running. That's a SaaS software that was from, I think it was released in either late 2010 or early 2011. And it's still running today. Still running, still making me money, still works great. So it was worth it. But it was a pain in the ass. So there are a ton of different things. It doesn't matter what niche you're in. There are a ton of developers out there that are developing platforms that you can buy licensing rights from, and you can white label them. So that's something you might want to look at. Like JVZoo is loaded with these things. Some of them are absolute garbage, and some of them are really good. Like, to give you an idea, my Build a Becky software, that is a licensed software. A programmer I found in JVZoo was doing something really good. I bought a license, white labeled it, and I've got Build a Becky literally overnight because the coding was already done. The software was already there. All I had to do is name her, called her Build a Becky. It's a phenomenal software. It provides bots for websites that are easy to program, easy to train, and a piece of cake. I could have developed that software myself or had it developed, but it would have been 2 years of, I've got a little bit of hair left, but maybe not after that. So with me, it's all about ease. It's all about how little work I can do and how much I can get out of that little work. So licensing stuff is a great way to go. And that opportunity, I just pass forward with almost everything I do. Like SitePop is a white labelable product. A lot of the agencies that purchase SitePop from me and continue to buy it over and over and over, they're putting their own brand on it. They're white labeling it. Same thing now we've got Quantum.
Hey, John,
Yeah,
is there a possibility that you could show us an example of building an app within, just a demo? Because, it's kind of like buy it and you don't really even know what it is.
we
Right.
just did that yesterday. We did a full training video with Brady and I. We set Brady up as a white label, and we actually walked through creating a tool inside his white label. So we have that as far as like anybody that gets into the white label, we've got that video now for you.
So is there a way to see that, to see if we're want to go down that road before we purchase?
No, it's not available outside. It's just in the training.
I see. And so in order to white label in order to become a white label, we need to be part of the white label community or upgrade. And
Yeah, it's like the white label. This is the way that I look at that. White label is like paddling out in big surf. It's a total commitment. It's like something you're either committed to doing that or not. It's not like, oh well, yeah, let me take a look at that, and it's not that kind of thing. If white label is for you, you know it.
yeah.
It's
So are you
one of
confident
those.
that the training within the white label uh, is sufficient that we don't have to spend the money to do the 3 day thing? Is
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
you have enough there to
The,
make an app?
oh yeah, absolutely. The 3 day thing is basically if you just want me to pretty much do it for you.
All right.
That's what that's for. And there's a lot of people that want that. They don't
And
want
so,
to go through the learning curve. They want me to just, hand hold them and just
yeah,
3 days they walk out the door with something ready to sell.
yeah. And the white labeling will show you within the white label. What are you calling that again? What is it actually called? White label? Is that what you're calling it?
Yeah, it's just the white label of quantum.
Okay.
So you
So,
get to name it whatever you want to call it.
and so you're going to teach us with the tutorials within that upgrade how to build apps,
Yeah.
an app, and we
So
can just take those
there's
skills from app
actually
to app.
yeah, there's actually 3 levels of the white label training. There's literally you get in, it's pretty self-explanatory. Like if you've ever done a white label before, you'll already see that it's a basic white label, and you'll probably already know how to do it and won't need any training at all. So there's that level, just the do it yourself, just take it and you don't really even need to pay for any training. The 497 training is the training where we're going through and video recording like step by step how to do your DNS, how to, everything. And then the third level is the 3 day where I'll just do it with you. So we've got those 3 levels. You could do it, just completely on your own. Guaranteed anybody that's ever done a white label before would be able to do that. Not a problem.
Yeah, so I've never done a white label before,
Yeah.
so
So you would probably need at least the 497 training where you get all the videos and all the walkthroughs and all that.
and you're confident that someone could do that and start building apps.
Yeah. Like Brady, we did his and he had no experience whatsoever doing a white label. He's got no experience, with any of the stuff that we did, and we did it, right there on the video, documented it, and I can pretty much assure you he will tell you there was nothing difficult about it because it's just following instructions.
And is there a support a little bit or something that if you run into some kind of hiccup, you can
Oh
reach
yeah.
out?
Yeah, we support everything.
Okay. And that's just the app building, doesn't have nothing to do with like linking it to a website or anything like that. You don't teach on that.
We do actually with the white label, you've got you've got to have ability to sell your stuff, whatever it is. So, like for me, I sell it in Kartra. I have it set up as a Kartra product. You purchase it through Kartra. I've got the Kartra membership set up. If you've got Kartra, I'm happy to clone my account and give it to you. And then you've got your whole sales wing put to it. And that's probably in the 3 day thing. That's what I would recommend somebody get Kartra so we can just do the whole thing and I can just set it all up for you.
But in the 497 thing, you show how to link payment.
Yeah, in the 497, we're just showing you the white label. This is just setting up the white label. This isn't like creating a whole business around it and all of that.
Okay.
We're assuming that you already have, that in place. Most people that buy white label already have a business up and running. They're looking to add value into what they're already doing. It's not really meant for, somebody just starting from scratch that doesn't have anything or know anything. If that's the case, then you're probably better off with 3 day deal.
Yeah, because I've noticed a lot of the influencers I'm watching for this segment, they're actually going straight from, they're not going even into a web page anymore. They're just like, it's kind of like a hybrid landing page with a payment method. That's it. They're not, and they'll have a couple warm up video, maybe a VSL, and then a thank you page with a few videos on it. But this like seems like it's changing a little bit from you. They're like, you don't even need a website. Just go to these landing pages and get the sale.
Yeah, there's a lot of internet marketers out there that are just throwing up garbage.
Mhm.
They'll throw up a landing page, they'll sell something, and then they're gone. They abandon it. It's like you bought it, you got it. Good luck.
Yeah, right.
They're off to the races. And anybody that knows me knows that that's not me. When I sell something, I'm here today, tomorrow, and forever. So, Craig, go ahead.
Yeah, John. So I just wanted to clarify white label from my perspective, right? So this is my perspective. I get your white label, I rebrand it as my brand, I position that in front of clients, and I sell that, right? I'm not interested in white label to the degree that I totally blow up everything that you've done and re-architect it, right? I want to take what you have, tweak it, present it, put it in front of clients.
You
So
can
A,
absolutely do that.
all right, two parts. A, do I need, because I'm an IT architect, so DNS and all that, I get that. So do I need the 497 training to complete? Because what I don't know is I have it positioned in Quatra as you do, as a membership, but how do I make the link from, okay, you click on my landing page, you go through the Quatra process for payment. How do I connect that dot, getting you access to the portal to get the licensing for Quantum? Because they seem disjointed. So I need to marry those two processes.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you have two platforms. You
Mm-hmm.
have Quantum as a software. Quantum doesn't really have a built-in billing situation.
Right.
So you're billing them outside. You're selling it as your own product. Then what I did with Kartra is I put a Zapier Zap in the middle.
Gotcha.
So when somebody makes the purchase inside of Kartra, they get a tag put onto their account.
Mm.
When Zapier, however you say that,
Mm-hmm.
when they see the tag, they make the zap over to the Quantum and create the account for the person, set up their access, and send them their email with their login information.
So all right, so that tag triggers the automation to kick in. All right, cool. I'm seeing
Correct.
it. All right. So
And then
lastly,
and then I've got another zap in there that if it sees if your membership fails in Kartra, let's say you cancel your membership or your credit
mhm,
card doesn't go through or whatever, and your membership for Quantum fails, what what Kartra does automatically is it removes the tag for Quantum customer and it adds a new tag that says past Quantum customer.
mhm.
That past Quantum customer triggers another zap to go over to Quantum and remove that account.
Gotcha.
So it's all completely automated. And if you have if for some reason, let's say somebody goes into Kartra after the fact and they change their email address. So now that email address doesn't match in Quantum and Kartra. If it cancels in Kartra and the Zap fails, it sends you an email. It gives you a notification from Zapier that says your Zap failed. And
Mhm.
you need to go over and manually delete them. You just need to look up, okay, what's the old email? Boom, delete them. Or look them up by name or whatever.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I might need to talk to you outside of this meeting about maybe purchasing your cartridge system and just importing it. That's value. Okay,
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
Last thing. So, all right, I'm a little fuzzy on the $9 licensing. So they
Okay.
create we do all that. I charge them whatever I'm charging them. I get them set up. So what's the $9
Okay.
licensing? Is that in addition or
Gotcha. Yeah. So when you do the white label, It's
Mhm.
97 a month for the white label shell.
Copy.
Yeah, and then with the shell, you get 2 free licenses.
For demo purposes, I get that.
Correct. So you set those up as demos or whatever. But when you get a paid customer and you want to set them up an account,
Mhm.
basically you're buying a license fee for them. So
Gotcha.
the license fee for that extra seat is $9 a month.
Okay.
So you would make that purchase, and if you have like Zapier doing it, it's all just automated. It just goes to your credit card. Your credit card on file would just get charged the $9. And it's based on when you start.
Mhm.
Like when you start the account, let's say you started on the 1st and you have a new customer that comes in on the 15th, let's say. We would charge the prorated mark there.
Mhm.
So let's say they start on the 15th, you might see a credit card charge that's 450 and you're like, "What the hell is 450? I thought these were $9." It's charging you the prorated for that month. And then at
Makes
the end
sense.
of the month, like on the next first, you would get charged for all of the full version seats that you're running.
Makes sense. Okay. I gotcha.
So it's all
Okay.
set up on a pro rata billing system.
Cool. Cool. Cool.
But
Last thing.
but
So,
so basically what you look at is you look at your cost of goods as $9 a month,
right.
and then you're going to sell it for whatever,
Love that.
$20, $40, $100. So whatever the difference is your profit.
Makes sense. Cool. And the last thing, so you have a really sick animation when we log into Quantum, right? Right.
Yes.
Was that covered in the training? Because I might have to buy the training just for that because either I'm gonna have to rename my product Quantum because I really like that slick intro, man. It's cool.
Okay, so what that is an outsourcer that I use that makes those videos.
Okay, I got you.
Basically, you send him your logo, and then he has a menu of different effects.
Hmm.
So you choose the effect and you up basically you're uploading your logo, you choose the effect, and 2 days later, he sends you your logo animated.
Hmm.
And I forget what he charges for that, but it's like under $50.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, I need that
Yeah.
contact info.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I can get that. I'll post that out to the group. So
Cool.
that's
Thank you,
where I
sir.
got that logo. Um, well, that's not where I got the logo. I made the logo in Quantum. And then I just exported the logo over to him and he animated it for me.
Cool beans. Thanks.
So, and then inside the white label, you'll notice in the settings for the white label, you've got some ability to change the header and the body code.
I saw that code. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we plug the logo in there for your to change that intro page.
Yeah, it's probably like a JSON file or something. Okay. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
and that's one of the things we found a glitch in yesterday. We're trying to update that in Brady's in his white label,
Hmm.
and it wasn't translating through on the white label page. So I've put that into the programmers and they're looking at fixing that.
Okay, cool. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. But that is a cool logo, and I'll be using that on, a lot of my promo pages and stuff like that.
Yeah, snazzy. I like that.
They've got some awesome ones. They have one that's like it's a lion on fire that's like running and then he explodes and turns into your logo. I
Cool.
mean, there's some really cool effects that the guy has. But it's awesome. He also you can do those animated logos for all of your different products as well. He's got bulk discounts. Like if you buy two, you get like 20% off. You buy three, you get 30% off. So he's really reasonable.
Cool. And you're going to post that inside the community section inside of Quantum? All right,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I'll
Thank
put
you.
that in there for you. I think it's Logo Animators.
Yeah, I've seen their ads on Facebook, but it's a couple
Yeah,
different companies that do that. Okay, cool.
Logo Animators. Yeah, that's it. It's logoanimators.com. I'll put the link in the chat here for you guys. Let's see.
Now, John, I wonder if people are going to pay me affiliate fees for all these great questions I'm asking, because I see people taking notes. I just want a little commission on that.
That's awesome. There's a lot of people that make money with my affiliate program, that's for sure.
Hmm.
So I just put Logo Animators. It's not an affiliate link. It's just that's where I got that logo made.
Cool. Thanks, sir.
GoAnimators.com. So pretty cool stuff. Now let's see. Anything else about the white label? Oh, one more thing too. I talked about the 3-day event. We're going to do it on my boat, and it's going to include food, lodging. You get to stay on the boat for the whole 3 days. And the initial price on it was $29.97, so $3,000. If anybody from this group in the ACT program is going to get $1,000 off of that. So it would be $19.97. And if you are on my apprentice program, which I know a couple of you are, and you want it, I'm knocking another 1,000 off, so it's $9.97 for the whole 3 days. So that's the deal. And that also, if you've ever been an apprentice, it also applies to you. If you were a past apprentice, that would apply to you. So that's a substantial discount. I take very good care of my apprentice customers. So, all right. So, any other questions about the quantum, the white label, anything like that before we move on? Yeah, go ahead, Delilah.
Wow, it looks really cool actually. So basically for this white label, you can program it to be tailored to your industry. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Like wow, that's like for example, I was at a filmmaking conference a few weekends ago, and there's a way that AI can help find out if a film idea is going to be profitable or not. Like let's say a filmmaker has 3 different ideas.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if there's a way to create this within this program where it can assess profitability of a film so that investors can get their money back, plus some. And then number two, there's a whole piece to development that goes into filmmaking. So, developing the characters, plugging them in, creating the story, um, storyboarding, things like that. I'm just wondering, like, how if this is something that can be molded into that frame. I'm just
Yes.
curious, like.
Yes, absolutely. Anything, basically any interactivity that you can have with ChatGPT, you can build a tool for in here.
That's really cool.
Yeah, in fact, um, let me see. I know that was a question too, just a little while ago. So you guys want to go behind the scenes and see how I build the tools?
Yeah.
All right, let me show you. I'll give you a little sneak peek here. So you guys know I love perplexity. So I have a perplexity thread that I have trained to build these tools, and it goes on for miles. I'm just going to drop you into the last tool that I made. So here's the prompt, and this thing goes on and on. I've built all the tools in Quantum using this string. So it knows exactly what I'm doing and exactly how to do it. So here's my secondary, I'll call it a secondary prompt. So today I need your assistance to create a GPT. And by the way, that's what all the tools are. The tools in Quantum are nothing more than GPTs. you could go into ChatGPT or OpenAI into the Explore GPTs and you can build your own GPTs. You can make them public or private. And I've actually done a training on this in the past to show people how to do that. You can also build bots in there. I guarantee you, it's the hard way to do it. Because you're having to do a whole bunch of steps and hoops and all of that. So anyway,
Yeah.
this okay, we muted Greg. Okay, so this is the prompt. Today I need your assistance to create a GPT that develops color schemes for brands. We need it to recommend a color palette for the creation of logos and websites and marketing materials. The GPT should put it all together and share why the color scheme is perfect for the brand and the underlying meaning of the color scheme, what it represents both consciously and subconsciously. Let me know what inputs you need for the GPT to do this. As always, we need a great name for the GPT, the image prompt for the icon for this creative tool. If possible, put color charts in the output, maybe a grid or spreadsheet format with the hex color with the actual color patch next to it, if possible. So that's what I was asking for. And it came back. So certainly I'll create a GPT that develops color schemes for brands as you've described. Here's the complete package. So there's the name, Chromacore. You guys might have seen this. There it is, Chromacore. So it gave me the name, it gave me the description, it gave me the prompt for the GPT. There's the actual prompt that built the tool. Here's the prompt that created the image icon button for it. And then here's the output format for the color palette. It gave me everything that I needed to do to build that tool. So next, I built the tool, Chromacore. And you put in the brand, the industry, the target audience, the personality, and if there's any colors you want or don't want. Now, it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. So I put in Internet Dominators and look at what it came up with. It came up with the identical colors that I've already used that I paid. I paid almost $10,000 to have that brand created, and this damn thing came up with the same information for free. They pick these colors based on a psychological analysis that I paid 10 grand for. This tool did it for free. And then here it tells you what it picked and why. The psychological impact of the colors. And then it also gives you alternative colors and accent colors and neutral colors that blend and match. I mean, how freaking cool is that?
Very cool. John, so from that perplexity thread that you went through, it spit out that what you just showed, which is the tool. I mean, what's the integration like? How does it go from that prompt from perplexity to becoming a tool?
That's God mode. That's this tool here.
Uh-huh.
So when you're in the white label, you go into God mode, and that's where you plug in that information from that perplexity script.
You would copy that perplexity
Yep.
Response. You copy it, and then you just go to God mode and
go to God mode and paste it in, just like that.
Awesome.
And then the tool is birthed.
And then it would go onto your white label page instead of Quantum. It would go on to
Correct.
my white label.
Correct. Your tools are just in your instance of your white label.
And if I wanted to do one, let's say in healthcare industry, and if I wanted to do one, let's say in construction industry, I could have two separate white labels for that. So one to a different, one to healthcare,
And-
one to construction.
And here's the really cool part. You don't need to pay for two white label licenses.
How many do we get?
You get an unlimited number of seats. And when you create the white label, inside the settings of the white label, I'd show it to you, but I don't have it here in this. This is a branded version. So I don't have God mode on this computer here. But in God mode, when you're creating your white label, you can set up multiple roles. So you could set up a role for one niche that has a bunch of tools. You could set up a role for another niche that had different tools. And then you can sell those as different products under one white label control panel. So when you set up a user, you're assigning a role to that user. Default role just gives them access to whatever is in your whole system. But if you want them to be limited to certain tools that you pick and choose, you can create a role. And that's all in the training. That's all set up in the training to show you how to do that. I mean, that's power. There is an incredible amount of power under the hood in this thing.
Yeah,
And an incredible amount of versatility.
many businesses there.
Yeah, you could create an unlimited number of roles, which is an unlimited number of products and businesses, niches, and then you can have an unlimited number of seats.
And the only other thing you would need would be a way to sell it, a payment thing. And that would be linking it through Kartra, is what you're saying, instead of you can't link it straight to PayPal or Stripe.
Oh, you could. You could have a Stripe link, you could have a PayPal link, you could have whatever you want. You don't have to have Kartra. Kartra is just what I use. I use it for everything.
And you using it maybe because why are you using it instead of going straight to a PayPal?
Well,
What's
PayPal, I would have no automation. PayPal is not a mailing list. It's just a payment tool.
right?
Kartra is a business. Kartra
Okay.
gives me the whole enchilada. It gives me a database of customers. It gives me a tagging system to tag and keep track of them. It gives me automated follow-up sequences, ways to communicate, membership site. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on of all the stuff that it has available to it.
Do you know? Do you know the difference between using Kartra versus using like School?
School, I'm not familiar with, but there's a lot of different products out there that you can run your business on. There's Kajabi, there's Go High Level, there's ClickFunnels, there's
School is kind of like Teachable. I'm looking at from what I'm studying, John. I've got a few people I've
Yeah.
seen, and even Frank Kern's doing it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like of a online community.
Yeah.
Hey, John, before we go over to CRM discussion, on
Uh-huh.
your white labeling, the role that you have, the unlimited number, can in
Yes.
each one we eliminate some of the tools? So I
Yes.
have one set that's for an industry and it has half the tool set, and I have another for another industry and it has the other half of the tool set, let's say.
Yes, that's absolutely correct. When you set up a role, there is a checkbox option list of the tools that are available to you, and you just check off the ones you want available in that role.
Thank you, John. Too cool.
So you have a library of tools that you've created in some one destination library, and then when you set up niches, you can just pull from that library that you want to include in that niche.
Correct.
Okay.
And as a white label, your list will include all of my tools, and you can edit any of them. You can change their names, you can change the icons, the description, you can change them in any way you want. So you can rebrand. Like Craig Duswalt, he is chomping at the bit to get a copy of this and rename all the tools Rockstar this and Rockstar that. So I'm like, that's a piece of cake, easy.
So each of the white labels then can be used for different industries,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you can even have multiple industries inside of your white label just by changing the roles. Because
Mm.
when you set up a customer, the customer by default would just have the default role, which has all the tools. But you could create like a customer role that was for publishers. And then when they sign up, you assign them the publisher role, and then they just get the publisher tools. For
Wow,
you could have like the Actors Guild tools.
that's
And
so cool.
that's all they get. That's all they see. That's all they know. They don't know anything about the rest of the tools.
It could be for writers,
Yeah.
actors,
Yeah.
directors. Hmm.
Like for instance, I've got tools that you guys don't have access to because they're on a totally different level and they would just confuse the shit out of you. So I just didn't put them in there for you. But so you can pick and choose what anybody gets.
Can
If
this do high tech stuff too? Like I have ideas for cryptocurrency projects, but I don't do code. And so
You
this would,
you might be able to have this thing do crypto research for you.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, anything that you're doing can pretty much be replicated, almost anything. And if it has to do with research online, GPTs are the way to go. And anything that you're doing with a GPT, including Chat GPT, you can build a tool that will automate the process. Like if you've figured out the languaging of how to ask the GPT to get the answer you want, that's a prompt. That prompt can be isolated into a tool so somebody else can get the same benefit of the answer without having to know how to ask for it.
And that would just be prompting it. Like,
Yeah.
let's take, for instance, your Chroma Core example. That
Mhm.
prompt, you would just be adding on different ideas that you had. Oh, well, I can ask, maybe it'll produce something beyond what you engineered on that prompt, perplexity prompt. And you could get even more detailed than the Chroma Core. You could add more
Yeah.
functions, basically, right?
Yeah,
Go
absolutely.
forever with it.
Yeah, like the build a buyer, that's a 13-page script of a prompt.
Wow.
And it gives you an incredible amount of data. The
Yeah.
output gives you like a whole page of data about mind reading your prospect.
Mhm.
So you can go as big or as simple as you want.
And if you buy the $4.95 version with the video tutorials, if you were like did that and you were like, hey, it's still not enough, then you would go to the $2,000 training.
Yeah, and if you did that, I would just credit that amount toward your other thing.
Wow, that's special. How many of those 3 days? Because I live really close to you. I'm just down the street, down in Dana Point. It would be, are you running multiple classes for that, or is it just the one that you're doing?
I'm gonna do it's gonna be limited to just 4 people.
Uh,
So I'm gonna do one and see how it goes. And it might end there. I don't know.
and when are you doing that?
I haven't picked a date yet, but it will probably be early January.
Got it. So that's cool. Yeah, so I could do the $4.95. Hopefully that works. It doesn't, then go
Yep.
for the in January.
Yep.
Awesome, man.
Yep. So
Hey, John?
cool stuff. Yeah, go ahead, Paul.
Hey, I was wondering, you think it'd be possible to build a bot that would create menus for restaurants, like the entire layout with the descriptions and everything? Or would that be a multi-step process?
A bot or a tool in quantum?
I say a tool, let's say.
A tool, yeah. I mean, I don't know that the GPTs are going to do like design work, layout work. I haven't, but now that I think about it, I don't see why they couldn't. That would be something, that you would have to just play around with. like building the tools is really a cool thing. It's a creative process, and you don't have to settle for the tool. Like I know a lot of the tools I've built, when I first put them in, I tested them and I said, yeah, that's not what I wanted. And I'll go back to the drawing board and redo the tool and all that. And it's been a really cool creative process and I've been really impressed with what I've come up with the outputs. It's really been awesome.
Well,
But
you
I
said you create
haven't,
any tool we wanted, so would that be something you could create for Mr.
yeah,
or
yeah.
anybody? You
Yeah,
could.
like one of the tools that's very complex, I haven't completed yet, is a tool to create a VSL, video sales letter.
Hmm.
And it's got multiple parts to it. It's a very, very complicated tool. Um, I'm gonna be able to get it to do what I want. It's just a matter of time. And lately I've been so pressed for time, I haven't had time to really work on it. But I will be able to kick out a tool that basically puts your whole freaking presentation together. That's going to be awesome.
How
So,
about like a building websites? Is there something
yeah,
they could?
that's actually one of the tools that I don't have available in here for everybody because you need some pretty advanced knowledge of web development to work with that tool. And I don't want to support it. There's no way in hell I'm going to support that. So if somebody wants that, I just upgrade their role to get access to it and tell them you're on your own.
Gotcha. Do you
So,
think I could create something that would be appealed like across the board? It would be a niche to restaurant owners that can find it useful. That I can probably maybe create multi-bots for restaurant owners.
well, I think for restaurant owners, creating a bot for their website to answer questions would be, probably a very high value thing to offer those restaurant owners.
But that's probably your Build a Becky bot, right?
Yeah. As far as like a tool to create a menu, they probably already have a menu. And what I usually look for when I'm creating tools or trying to find opportunities, I try and find the thing that no one has. Like if they already have menus, it's like, okay, do you really want to fight in that bloody pool where you're fighting against everyone else that's offering them a solution to build a menu for them?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you want to fight in a pool where nobody's building bots for them and the bot is high value? That's where I want to focus my time. So I always look for opportunities where I'm the only one. There's not a lot of options. And
I
I've
see.
I've found that is a really good way to run your business, is be the only solution.
I'll tell you what, I'm in the restaurant business, so I'm always constantly tweaking my menu and I'm always playing around with it with different layouts and readjusting prices and descriptions and things like that.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have a push button solution to make it so easy for people.
Now, what you might do is you might build a bot for them that randomizes a nightly special.
Oh,
You might build a bot for them that takes all the ingredients that they have on hand and builds a custom nightly special recipe.
interesting. I love that idea.
That's something, that's what I'm talking about. You got to think of what's no one else doing that could
Hmm.
create high value.
Hmm.
That's where you
Okay.
want to play.
All right.
Because when you walk through the door and you offer them that, they haven't heard that before. And they're like, wow, just like your reaction, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? If you
Yep.
react that way, so will they.
So now it's going to take a little work on their end to input all the ingredients and all the items they have.
Mhm.
However,
Yeah, yeah, but how many times they have to do it?
that's true. That's true. Yep. Okay, cool.
So yeah, that would be really cool. And you could make it to where it was just a text file. They upload the text file with all the ingredients. They don't have to type them all in.
That's true.
Just upload, paste in what you've got on hand and give me a nightly special. What's our Tuesday special?
Oh, wow.
What's our Friday special? Let's create like even special names for it, like the Friday night romance special, dinner for two. I mean, you could make really bitchin' stuff that no one
Yeah.
else has. You just have to get a little creative with it. And, I mean, I'm really good at brainstorming this kind of stuff. But you know who's way better than I am?
ChatGPT.
Perplexity.
Oh, perplexed. Okay.
Perplexity's way better than I will ever be.
Mhm.
So kick ideas. I really encourage you guys to play with Perplexity. If you haven't played with it, get comfortable with it. Let it be your best friend. You will learn so much from that tool. It's so helpful. I mean, it'll take you to a whole new level.
I have played with Perplexity. What do you like to do with Perplexity when you're playing with it? Like, because I've used the writing, when it's asked you what area do you want to focus on. I've been using writing for copyright. What
Mhm.
what do you like to do with it, John?
I'm just using it right out of the gate. I just use the standard box. I'm not making any adjustments to it. I don't even have the paid version of it.
Yeah.
I just open the window where it says, "What can I help you with?" Let's start talking.
Hmm.
But you could, like, for restaurant owners, that I think that would be a really cool thing to come up with a romance special, dinner for two, for Friday nights or Saturday nights or whatever, date night special. The thing could probably brainstorm 50 different names you could call that, and you could sell them a whole year's worth. Get 52 Friday night specials for lovers, with a different unique name every Friday night. Come in and see what we got this week. It wouldn't just be cool for them, it would be cool for their customers. Their customers would come in to see what's new. Like, if you wanted a unique experience for your date that you didn't have to think about, what am I going to do next week? Just take them back to the same restaurant and they do the work for you. I mean, what a great idea for a restaurant owner. Yeah, build them a tool for it. That would be a really, really cool thing. So, and it's like I said, I mean, you guys live in a time right now. There's there's never been what you have at your fingertips right now. It's absolutely amazing. And I know you guys probably aren't thinking about it like I am, but you don't have to have my brain to do this. You just need to talk to Perplexity. Because Perplexity has my brain on like steroids. It's available 24/7. So,
What about for like training of salespeople? You could build a tool for that because
mhm.
I'm a businessman. I'm always having to retrain and retrain. Someone comes in, someone leaves, and I'm always have to training them how to sell, or a procedure within, I used to own a produce agricultural business, and I would always have to train how to harvest and prepare it was like I was gonna create videos on it. I'm like, geez, I'm done training with be a new person every other week,
Yeah.
and you know, you could build a tool rather than a video for that. Or could you
Well,
cross video into it?
that's kind of what Gina specializes in, is standard operating procedures, building mechanisms for automations. And any business where you have employees, if you don't have SOP, standard operating procedures, you're not really operating at a level 10. You're probably operating at a level 2 in your business.
Yeah, I mean, I had SOPs for the business side, but not for the training side. you
Well,
know,
it's the same thing. There's an SOP for everything in a business. Anything that you're going to replicate has an SOP. The problem is you just have the SOP exists, but it's in your head. That's where the problem lies.
right.
So as soon as you put it on paper, now you've got an SOP. You don't ever have to do it again. That could be translated to the next person and the next person and the next person.
The problem with my industry was that it was very detailed. It was almost like I had to create a video showing them how to prepare this piece of fruit, clean,
No, yeah, that's fine.
cure it, all these different things.
Yeah.
And
Videos are great for SOPs.
yeah,
Videos are fantastic. That would be my preferred mode of operation, really.
yeah. With that, could you link videos or integrate videos into a tool?
You could, but again, you're looking for the tool to do something that the tools the tool is not the right vehicle for that.
Right.
You are the tool.
Yeah.
You just need to put yourself into a replicated format.
Right.
Like the tool is never going to figure out all of your experiences. The tool is not going to know how you sell your products. The tool might come up with a better way for you to sell the product. That's where I would be looking. Like when you guys are looking for when you're asking questions, you got to make sure you're asking the right question. Right? The right questions will give you the right answers. Like asking for a tool that does something that you already know how to do and that you just haven't done, that's not the right question. It's
Right.
asking what tool could I build that would advance me to give me something I don't have and I'm not capable of. That's the right questions that you should be asking of the tools.
Got it.
It's like for the restaurant, why spend your time and effort building a tool that everyone else has the ability to do? Like, design a menu. That's a perfect example. There's a million people walking through that business owner's door offering to design them a menu. That's not a good tool. But giving them a tool that says, hey, I have a tool that will magically give you a special every Friday night and you don't have to think about it. And your customers will be wanting to come back and back and back every Friday night to see what the new offer is. That's a high value tool. See the difference between the right question and the wrong question? The wrong question is how to build a tool to do something everybody else does versus how do I build a tool that no one else has and everyone will want? It's a very slight variation, but a huge, huge result difference.
So in health, like I do carnivore and also I'm switching back to plant-based diet and maybe a tool that shows recipes like you have would be a good way of doing that. But I need to think outside the box because there's already a recipe builder, right? So
Well, you might think about that just as what is, what's another way to position the same thing? Because if you look at the diet industry, that's a perfect example. There's only so many different ways to diet, but there's a lot of different names you can put on it, like South Beach. You ever hear of the South Beach diet?
yeah,
They
South Beach,
sold the shit out of that. All that was just putting a different name on a diet that had been around for ages.
Mediterranean, all these different
Yeah,
diets, keto diet, all these. Yeah.
yeah.
So you're saying maybe just rename something, build your own tool that comes up with recipes within the carnivore diet or a plant-based diet or a South Beach version or Mediterranean, all these different types of diets, rename it, but have the function building recipes around the constructs of. So you would input something in the prompt saying, build a carnivore tool,
I
carnivore
would
diet
I would
tool.
use I would use the tool to figure out what does the audience want and how can we position it in a way that it will look unique and new and they can't live without it.
A new diet.
Perfect example, Beachbody diet.
Right.
Anybody that's dieting, Beachbody is very appealing to them because that's what they want. They're not dieting because they want to torture themselves. They're dieting because they want to look good. They want a beach body. They
Yeah,
want
I
a
did
body
that.
they can show off.
I did that P90X years and years ago through Tony Horton, and it was exercise, different exercises, different days, and the diet that went with the program. So that would be like a business in itself. Build the exercise program, build the diet tool,
Yeah.
and
And all that flows back to marketing.
uh-huh.
Marketing is figuring out your audience, figuring out the messaging, and then bringing the message to the market.
And
That's
I don't want to be
key.
redundant, but I found you through YouTube, and I've been watching people saying, "Oh, you need to be in all platforms," and some are saying just focus on one or two and kill it in those. And so for marketing, I mean, 2024, 2025, it's about social media. And what is your idea of good marketing to sell this platform, this quantum tool white label thing? What would be your recommendations to find clients?
Anybody that says you need to be everywhere, in my opinion, is an idiot.
Uh-huh.
There's only one place you need to be, and that's wherever your customer is. If
Right.
you're not willing to do the work to figure that out, you might as well go start filling out applications.
What is your most effective platform? Because I did find you on YouTube.
My most effective platform, I've said it over and over and over, is other people's mailing lists. I'll find the person that has built the audience I want, and I will go make an agreement with them to deliver my content to their audience and split the money with them.
Which would be making them like an affiliate to the program that you're
Mhm.
the quantum white label.
And it depends on what I'm selling. Like if I'm selling Site Pop, I'm going to look for SEO guys that have SEO audiences.
And that would be a DM to them. Let's say you found them on Instagram. And you send something, hey, do you want to partner or
Yeah.
show on your site?
Yeah,
Repost.
or I'll put out, I'll put out the word of, hey, I'm looking for this person. Can anybody introduce me? Introductions are way better than just, random messages from somebody that doesn't know you.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at your audience, usually, there's a very small degree of separation between you and anybody you need to get a hold of.
Right.
So leveraging that, leveraging who you know to who they know, to who they know might be three people deep, but like, hey, could you get your cousin, to get his boss to make this introduction for me?
Yeah, I think they had a book called Kevin 3 to 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon or something like that. I don't know if you remember that. That was decades ago, but yeah, you could be 6 people away from someone that knows the president.
Yeah. And it's not you could be, you are.
Yeah.
Almost guaranteed. Unless you like just, live in a closet and don't talk to anybody and you don't, that's the only way that wouldn't work.
There it is. 2 degrees of Kevin Bacon, something like that. That was a book years ago. I was interesting. Wow.
Never heard of the book, but I just know that concept to be true.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to ask for help, you won't get help.
Got it.
Ask the people around you. You don't know who they know. And the only way you'll figure it out is by asking them. Say, hey, who do you know? Do you know anybody that could help me? I'm looking for somebody that's got that services the SEO community. Or I'm looking for somebody that knows web developers, or I'm looking for somebody that helps businesses get startup going, whatever your market is.
And that'd be responding to a comment on a video possibly that you saw on Instagram or YouTube in the comment section.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah.
You're looking for people that have an audience. Or at least me. I mean, that's my preferred mode. You say you found me on YouTube. I don't really do any YouTube marketing other than just posting this weekly call on there and it's not promoted, it's not optimized. It's basically just for our members to look at, and then occasionally somebody like yourself will find it and go, wow, that's a really cool group, and then they sign up. So yeah, it works, but it's totally ancillary for me. It's not really one of my modes of promoting or advertising.
Are you advertising, paid advertising right now, or is it all organic?
I've never done paid advertising.
Huh.
It's
But I think you're talking about that, doing things.
everything I've got has come from that one mode of operation because it's the only way I can be lazy.
Did you get the email this week from Frank Kern who said he dropped his ads to $2 like $2 a day or something like that? Like Frank Kern, $2 a day, huh?
Yeah,
But he's still making like 13, 14 grand a day with it.
yeah, one of the things that you'll learn about all the people in that space
Yeah.
is you don't necessarily believe everything they say. And that's one of them.
I know he said he's doing some more organic stuff with what he's doing, but I'm like, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
you have a name. It's like, yeah, but you have a name, Frank. You know, you can do organic stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. See, the way I did it, I didn't need a name. I didn't need to be famous. I didn't need to be known. I needed to find the guy that everyone knew and have him introduce me. Now everyone knows my name. Now I have authority instantly. So you don't need to have a big following. You don't need to have, a credibility. You don't need to have anything. You just need to find somebody that will introduce you to their audience, pass their authority on to you, and then you better do a good job with it. You better make them proud. Deliver the goods.
And that your suggestion is to make them not a partner, but an affiliate. And
Yes. Yep. Yep. Provide value. You got to be able to provide value to their audience. That's job one, because they're not going to jeopardize what they've built on some crappy offer or somebody that, goes on there and makes them look bad. Your whole purpose in life is to make them look good. You want their people to thank them for bringing you on. And if you don't have that, you shouldn't play that game. You need to play at a level 10 when you're doing that. Because guess what? When you're done, you now have the ability to get that person to endorse you to other people just like them. And that's how you will virally spin that game up. Or you'll have that guy say, oh, Jesus, I would never put him on again. And then you're done.
And that'd be creating a tool set, white label tool set that's not in conflict there, obviously. Because
Yeah. You can't be in conflict with them. You have to be an addition to.
All right.
Yeah. So it's all about providing value. Everything I've ever talked about is about providing value. If you don't provide value, what value are you? That's what it comes down to. You've got to provide value. And coming up with ideas and thinking about stuff that the people that you're serving don't have the ability or the time or the effort to do is valuable.
And that may be a perplexity query that you'd go to Perplexity saying, I'm in this industry. What are non-traditional values propositions? And then create tools based upon non-traditional. Because you're saying you got to have something that's different.
Yeah.
It'd be a good tool to start brainstorming on.
Yeah. I like a conversation with Perplexity might go like, I'm in the ABC market, and I'm looking to provide value to business owners in that market sector. And what I want to do is I want to provide something that they really need, whether they know it or not, but no one else is providing to them. Give me some ideas.
Yes, there you go.
And then expand upon that. That conversation could go all night. And you could come up with some phenomenal stuff. You could come up with some phenomenal value. But the questions are in that string, what could I build them that would make me an invaluable resource in their life and in their business that they literally would not want to live without? That's literally where you want to be in the game.
And based on those results, that conversation, it would give you ideas to create tools within the white label. Now you're not in conflict with the people you're following or going after.
Yeah. And that conversation, if that's what you were going to do, you would specifically say, what could I provide them based on GPT type tools to change their life that they wouldn't be able to live without?
Right.
The more specific you are about what you're trying to do, the better questions you're asking and the better answers you're going to get. If you just ask it generically, what are they missing? What could I provide? It's not necessarily going to give you tools you could make in quantum. If that's what you're looking to do, that's what you need to ask.
What would be that query again?
So that would basically just be asking, what would they need that I could create a GPT to solve that problem?
All right.
Because think about the tools in quantum, they're GPTs. That is at their core what they are. So, cool stuff. All right, so I want to move on now to something I want to show you guys. And I think Gregory's still on here. I want to show you guys a video he made. And in the process of this video, when I first saw it, I recognized an issue with it that is a common issue with voiceover. And I've talked about this in the past, but it's in the long past. It was probably a year ago. And it's a very important lesson. If you're doing any kind of video with voice or you're doing voiceover, anything to do with AI generated voice, this is going to be really valuable to you. So let me find, okay, here it is. I'll share the screen. And you'll see in just seconds the problem when I start this up. All right, so this is his video. I'm going to start playing, and I'm just going to play just like the first 10 or 15 seconds of it, and then we'll talk about it.
Welcome to Gregory Santana Company Innovative Marketing Tools with one mission: help your company grow.
All right, does anybody see the problem with that or hear the problem with that?
Talking too fast?
It's not talking too fast. It's not
It's a very unnatural rhythm for speech.
Unnatural voice rhythm.
Yeah, it's not enunciated properly. It's just mending words into one another. So it's not humanized.
Okay.
It sounds very robotic. So
Have voices all over the internet too.
yeah. And so what you want to do when you're doing your voice files, this is text to voice AI. It doesn't matter if you're using the quantum tools or if you're using 11 Labs or whatever you're using to create audio. You can use punctuation to split it up and help you enunciate or pronounce and enunciate the words in the sentences. Like commas, for instance. Comma tells the voice to take a break. Hyphens say to emphasize the next word.
I thought I saw on that script, on that scripting there at the bottom, it did have a comma in there and it didn't break.
Yeah.
That right in the example you just showed.
Yeah. So there's what you can do is you can go to Perplexity and you can ask and talk to Perplexity, tell it the problem. Say, hey, my voiceover is all just kind of strung together. I need to know how to prompt it to create the voice human-like. and it'll give you a lot of suggestions on how to do that stuff. So that might be something that you might want to give a try. But the video is really cool. You got, I'll go ahead and just play the rest so we can see it.
Welcome to Gregory Santana Company Innovative Marketing Tools with one mission: help your company grow. Our mission is to supercharge your business with AI-driven marketing tools. It is to empower businesses like yours to connect with high-intent customers. In today's fast-paced market, finding the right customer at the right time is essential. Our solutions are designed to make marketing easy, affordable, and impactful so you can focus on growth without breaking the bank. In today's fast-paced market, connecting with high-intent customers is crucial. Kickstart your journey with our free AI marketing automation ebook to reaching the right customers with AI power. Discover strategies to create messages that resonate, capture valuable data, all using the power of AI. It is modern marketing that any business can benefit from, and it's yours free at gregorysantana.com. Introducing the Quantum AI Suite, our flagship product. Over 40 niche tools at your fingertips that are tailored for specific marketing needs, all pre-prompted, engineered for easy use. Take a look at each tool. It is designed with your business in mind, ready to take your marketing appeals to new heights. Imagine having AI tools that create everything from catchy headlines, grab attention content, irresistible offers, identifying buying triggers, and more, all in one place. These tools save you time to fine-tune your marketing efforts, letting you connect with your audience more cost-efficiently and effectively. Quantum AI Suite tools are designed to elevate your marketing to new heights. Increase market share, grow your database, and create repeat customers. Then there is AI zip code keyword marketing to connect with high-intent customers by targeting specific zip codes with your business keywords, allowing you to reach people when actively searching for what you offer. Whether you're a small business or a larger enterprise, AI zip code keyword marketing scales your wants, delivering precise real-time results. Imagine when people are looking for your product, you are in the right place at the right time. In real-time, precise results keep you competitive in your industry. We are unique in unwavering commitment to support your success with continuous tech support, live meetings for updates, new features, and a robust back-office system. Expect continuous tech support and live updates for cutting-edge features to ensure the latest marketing technology to your success. With the backing of a 30-year financially stable service provider and a secure data center, we ensure your business is equipped with reliable, high-impact solutions. We can upscale ability, capability, reliability, and deliver in real time. Here's the question. Will you let your competition get ahead? AI zip code keyword marketing and the Quantum AI Suite are your answers to staying competitive and reaching high-intent customers effectively. Get started today with our free AI marketing automation ebook available at gregorysantana.com. Don't wait. Let us help make your marketing smarter, simpler, and more profitable. Download your free ebook at Welcome to Gregory's.
All right. So you
Now, I made some
probably
changes,
noticed-
but okay, yeah. Thank you, John.
you probably noticed like the hyphens seem to give it a break where the commas didn't necessarily put that in. So different AI programs for voiceover will have different punctuation. So it's kind of getting to know the one that you're working with. So the other thing that you want to do is this is something I always do with all my copywriting. When I write it, sometimes it looks great. But then when I speak it, I'm like, oh no, God no, that doesn't sound right. And you had a couple of segments in there where it's really clunky. Like what you're calling things. You got way too many adjectives going on in there. So whenever you speak it, I always do this as a test. If I have a written script or something, I will speak it out and say, is that how I would really say it? And if it's not, then I simplify it. It always comes down to simplifying. The other thing is breaking the sentences into shorter sentences. You have a lot of long run-on complex sentences. And when the AI is reading that, it doesn't sound natural. So it's like, take a breath, just get your point, and then get your point, and get your point. You don't need to jam 3 points into one sentence. If you want to, if you put that script into a Word document, I can help you get it right. And then you can plug it in and that thing will be totally dialed in.
I got that for you. Yeah, so the thing was, it was between GPT, Perplexity, and Video Genesis is where I got this whole creation, and I wasn't doing much in the editing thing. I was just like trying to polish it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, Chat GPT and Perplexity and all those are great, but they're never going to have your voice. So let them do the base work, but always go in and work it and make sure that it's got your voice and your tone and it's the way that not only you would speak it, but the way your customer needs to hear it.
And also, should we pick a different voice when I go back to Video Genesis?
Um, that's up to you, not necessarily. Like I think Mary had said that, that voice is all over the internet.
Right.
She might be right, but your customer is not all over the internet, so they may never have heard it before. So I don't know that I would like look at that as really a problem.
Okay.
From what
The
on
voice,
11 Labs, you could make your own voice on 11 Labs. Is
yeah,
that
the voice that I usually use inside Quantum is, I think it's called Adam.
That's him. That's the one we use.
And the Adam voice is used a lot, but for me, it's like it sounds familiar. So it's almost more like it's trusted because I know that guy.
Yeah.
That guy's all over the internet. That guy's an authority. He's famous. So it's almost like using a celebrity voice. So I like it.
Okay, I got some pointers. I'm going to work on it over the weekend, and then you and I will polish on Tuesday.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Sounds good. All right. Anything else before we wrap up? We've had some valuable lessons here today, I think.
to white label Quantum without the God mode white label side? Can you just white label Quantum as it is, or do you?
Yeah, you
but
could
you have to be the white labeling.
You
side.
could take it as is and just plunk your logo on it, and you could call it Quantum if you want.
Cool.
Yeah. It's any variation of it, I'm fine with. I mean, I don't care if you even want to call it Quantum, but if you do that, you don't really need to white label it. You could just be an affiliate of it. Like Gregory's doing it as an affiliate. He's making a video to sell Quantum, and he's just using his affiliate links with it.
And that would be a recurring, like, how does that work?
Yeah. As the affiliate, you're making half of it without doing anything other than just promoting it. You don't have anything to fiddle with. You don't have any billing. You just get a check every month.
Hey, John, can I say a little something here also? Okay, so I go to some of you know me. I'm a network junkie. I'm off to one tonight and another one Saturday. But the bottom line is that when I go in there and talk about quantum and I bring it up on my phone and show them the faceplate, they go goo goo gaga. And I talked to an engineer from Google on what's today's Thursday, Tuesday night. Tuesday night there was a guy from Google engineering and Irvine office, and he looked at the quantum face and he's like wow, and this is Google, so you're onto something.
Yeah, you guys don't realize how far ahead you are. Just with what you know, I don't care how little you think it is, you have no idea how far ahead of the general populace you are. If you go out and speak to an audience and you talk about just some basic general AI stuff, you're going to be looked at as though you walk on water. It's like Gregory's experiencing that. He's speaking up in his network groups and they don't know anything about AI. So he looks like he's a god. And I'm sure he loves that. That's where you want to be. You want to be the one that's indispensable. You want to be the one that they look to for answers. And all you have to do is just stay a little bit ahead of the crowd. And you guys have no idea how far ahead of the crowd you are right now with what you know about AI. You really are. And if you're not taking advantage of it, you're losing out on a huge opportunity. This is not going to last forever. There's going to come a time in the very near future when AI is going to be commonplace and it's going to be much harder for you to stay ahead of the group. But right now, you're light years ahead. Take advantage of that. Jim, you had your hand up? Oh, I had my hand over your face. I'm sorry about that. My cursor turned into a hand and it was on you.
I got a quick question, John.
Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
Hey, so if we've fallen off the face of the earth and haven't circled the planet yet, where do we go to learn about what we're talking about, the quantum?
Oh, is this your first experience with quantum?
No, but I haven't done any research on it.
Gotcha. Well, it's actually not very old. I mean, I literally just started doing this within the last couple months. So
I think I was on one of the early calls when you first were talking about it, but I had a lot of, had a lot of stuff circling the drain, and
so you're really not that far behind. We just like this week
good
up the white label version of it.
Ah, brilliant.
So you're not too far behind the 8 ball. It's really, I mean, it is what it is. It's a suite of GPT tools that I've created and put into a program that we call Quantum. And
sounds awesome.
A lot of the tools in there are built for the ACT members. It's like all the stuff. Remember we talked about how difficult it is for people to do the big idea and all the little steps that I teach. It's easy for me, but no one has been able to like get mastery over it easily. So that was where it started. I'm like, hey, I need to build tools to solve this problem. And that's where it all started. So there's a whole string of ACT tools in there that solve the problem. You don't need to know how to do a big idea now.
I popped in and looked around at it, I think early on. But again, I just kind of like, I was distracted by their stuff. I'm, like we call it work, but whatever it is.
And then
the business of being busy.
So that was my initial intent, was to build the ACT tools to help the ACT members. And once I got that suite of tools, in there and dialed in, I kind of opened it up to the group of like, what other tools would you guys want? What would be useful to you? And then people started throwing me ideas, and I'm knocking these tools out because that script I showed today in Perplexity allows me to build these tools in about 10 minutes.
It's awesome.
So like somebody, who was it? Somebody was on here and they wanted to know, what kind of, how to make a gourmet recipe out of what they had in their kitchen. So I built a tool, the Kitchen Chef. You can put in the ingredients you have on hand and it'll give you a gourmet recipe to cook for dinner.
The only thing you need after that is just to be able to, when you do your grocery shopping, come back in and scan the barcodes with your phone and have it automatically load into your recipe file.
Yeah. Somebody wanted a real estate listing tool, like how to make a listing that got good results for a real estate open house.
Brilliant.
So I built that tool. And Linda actually tested it. She said she's never in her life seen a situation where she showed up for the open house and there was a line around the building.
Wow.
Because of the listing that this tool created.
That's amazing.
And she actually wound up selling the house for like $2 million. Wow. And it was,
that'd be impressive if the house was $100,000 house, but was it a $2 million house? First of all, let's clarify this.
Let me tell you about the house. The house was built in the early 1900s.
Okay.
And it's a tear down.
Wow.
It's a tear down. It's a wreck. But the listing
sounds like California.
The listing made it sound like it's a part of history.
Brilliant.
Come and experience a part of history. It was an amazing listing. And I can guarantee you that house was worth nothing close to that price. Nothing. Not even in the same realm.
Maybe we do that, John, as an app for people to write that for their business.
Yeah.
Do your business open house. What was that Craig used to say to the open house? Do your business open house. I don't know if we can do the same one, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna go tinker with it.
Yeah, yeah. And then somebody asked, can you build a tool that comes up with brand names? 10 minutes later, I had the name it tool.
Mhm.
And then somebody said, I need a tool that will make a website blurb about the brand, kind of like an intro for the top header of a website. So 10 minutes later, the brand blurb tool showed up. And then somebody said, what about a press release? And then 10 minutes later, PR Pro showed up.
Mhm.
It's like they're just telling me what they want. I'm just knocking these tools out and adding them to the suite. It's been really, really cool.
I mean, I'm just taking the one video tool. I mean, the one video tool pays me 3 times a month for making the videos for people. Just going here, well, I'll do 2 videos a month for you for $97.
Yeah, yeah. Video Genesis.
Yeah.
All you do with that tool is you drop in a URL. It analyzes the website, learns everything it does, everything it needs to know about that business and the owner, and then it makes a video, an AI video.
That's cool.
It's really cool.
Wow. So how do we access, find out? I don't want to take a ton of time on the call, but I'm curious to go down the rabbit hole piece.
I honestly haven't even created marketing material for it. I've sold like 200 seats to it now without even creating marketing material.
Do we have access to it? Is there a website I can?
Yeah. Shoot me an email and I'll send you a link to the page that I put up, the order page, and it's got a little video and some basic stuff. But seriously, I need to like take a day off and just sit down and crack out
what's that?
all my promo material for Black Friday.
Dude, that's awesome.
You promised it, John. We're waiting for it.
I'm like too busy playing with fish and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen your photos. It's very cool.
All right, Delilah, go ahead.
Oh, hey, John, I got your email last night about sharing what I'm doing with my crypto class, but I didn't know if this was a good time, if you want me to wait till next time. But I did respond to your email.
Oh, yeah. What I was really referring to was the crypto class at 2:00.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay, cool. We'll do that.
You are actually welcome to announce that on here as well, because what Delilah's doing, she's putting a crypto course together, and it's very different from my crypto mastermind thing. My crypto mastermind is more about like the long-term plays in this, and what she's focused on is like the bull run that's not about to, it's already starting. And how to take short-term massive gains on she's doing all the deep research, figuring out like which ones are the ones, how to get in, how to get out, all of that, which again is massive, massive opportunity in that market if you're looking for something to make easy, quick money. And I know it's not financial advice and all of that, but it's opportunity. Just like AI is here, crypto is here, technology, all of this stuff is all coming together just fast and furious. So she's put together like a whole course and training, both a quick start of if you don't know anything, how to get in, just get the basics, but she's also got a bundle that's just a little bit more that gives you a lot more value. So there's your intro. I'll let you take it from there, Delilah, and tell them any other details you want to tell them about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I could also share my screen in just a moment, that'd be awesome. Permission to share screen. Well, first I'm going to say thank you so much, John, for the opportunity for me to share about my class. I'm very passionate about crypto investing and sharing as much of my knowledge to people to help them safeguard their crypto, but also navigate this wild west of crypto.
Yeah.
And just like, I'm not going to take up much time at all, only take a couple minutes, but I just wanted to share a little bit about my background.
Are you gonna share your story about like how you were like down and like this was just really made a major comeback for you? Because I love that. That's really
I was pretty down and out. That's for sure. I dabbled in crypto like back 2017, early 18, made the worst mistakes possible, just like everyone starting out. Had the good fortune of attending this 1 day seminar. I think I paid 1,500 to go to this 1 day seminar, and I got to meet all these blockchain developers and learn as much as I could about crypto. But then right after that, the crash happened. And but later, as everybody knows, 2020, I was in the film industry and it shut down. And it shut down for a good year and a half. And as everybody knows, everybody's industries were shutting down pretty much, except for essential workers. And so I only had a couple hundred in Bitcoin, and I had my last residual paycheck of like 550. And so when the COVID crash happened, I actually, before the COVID crash happened, I took my 200 out of Bitcoin because I was noticing something. I was noticing something was coming, like a huge crash. There were a few gut feelings I had, but also I checked with some technical analysts and I discovered that this feeling that I had was real. And so I took it out. The crash happened. Make a long story short, I threw in my $200 plus the 550. And let me tell you, I had like zero work. I had all this work for months on end, completely canceled. I had no idea how I was gonna make money, but I was like, you know what? I got crypto. Let's do it right this time. So I was able to multiply that. I think within a few months it doubled. So the 750 turned into 1,500, turned into 3,000 to 6,000. And then I took and I started putting them in these altcoins. And pretty much my story is like how I turned 200 into 200,000 in a very short amount of time, about a year and a half span. Was it a year and a half? Yeah, it was a year and a half. And then I just became such a huge crypto enthusiast. I did get out, believe it or not, I actually did get out towards the top of the market. That was my goal because I learned from the 2018 crash that we don't want to stay in, especially if we're holding a bunch of altcoins. And so what ended up happening was I got out and I was like, dang, I really love this. I'm getting back in. Like, so the bear market happened, I got back in. And I've had a great journey. And I had a lot of people asking me, like, how are you doing this? How are you navigating the space? And so I started teaching this summer. And I did my first fast start into crypto class. And I'm starting my winter sessions starting this Saturday. And basically, it's we meet about 2 to 3 times a month. I also have emergency meetings. Emergencies can be good emergencies or they could be bad emergencies, but bad emergencies won't happen probably until the end of the cycle. But I teach everyone how like the 4 year cycle works and how important it is because when I got in at the end of the cycle, and that's what you don't want to do. We probably have approximately 1 year left, maybe a little less, maybe a few months less, somewhere between like 7 months to 12 months left of the bull market, but it's the most explosive part of the bull market. And I'm going to share my screen real quick. This is John actually helped me create this. It looks really cool. We've got my original class. These are both discounted for the holidays. This one is to get you started, and it's 3 months of support where you learn 8 sessions of how basically to navigate this space. And then I have a 1 year program for just a little bit more, which you learn everything here in this course, but you also get to stay in the program for the whole year and get, all the updates and all the my strategies of how I'm going to be scaling out of the market and when I'm going to be re-entering and things like that, which I've gotten down to a science pretty much. Nobody knows when the end of the cycle is, but I've been looking at patterns and historical charts, and so far it worked for me last market cycle, and so I'm following it again this coming market cycle. But this one, Fast Start into Crypto, is the 8 session course. It's about 3 months long, and we do a lot of support. Like if you have any questions, if you want to discuss your portfolio, your coins. I give a lot of alpha for both of these, where I give you research that I've gotten. Like, for example, there's a lot of really great coins. Like, I got into Pepe back in 2023, and I introduced all my students to Pepe over the summer, and also WIF, which is dog with hat. And these are very silly coins. They're meme coins. But I learned early on not to judge a coin. But if it makes money, it makes money. And so when I got into WIF, I have one student just texted me yesterday, Alice. She's like, I literally only put $50 in WIF, and it's like almost $500 now. And I was like, yeah, that's because it just got listed on Coinbase. And I kept talking to everyone over the summer about how I was so sure that Pepe and WIF were going to get listed on Coinbase, and we've got to be in early and before it gets listed and all the stuff. And it did. They both just got listed. Pepe got listed on Robinhood and Coinbase, and WIF got listed on Coinbase. But there is a factor where I show people how to use decentralized wallets to buy these early coins, like these coins early before it hits the centralized exchanges. Because once it hits the centralized exchanges, there's still room for growth, but not as much. Like, you can make, like Dog with Hat, I found it when it was only 20 cents, and now it's $4. Now, if you buy it at $4, you could probably still 7 to 10x your money. But when you find it earlier on, you're just going to be doing way more multiples. And same with like a coin called Nero. Nero was considered to be the next Doge. I did a lot of research and I found it early. There's a lot of people that did not find it. I had crypto influencers that were mad that they didn't find as early as I did. But I found Nero because I knew how popular Dogecoin was in the last market cycle. And the interesting about Doge is that it's not really the real name of the dog. The real name of the dog was Kabusa. But unfortunately, the dog passed away. He had a good, healthy life, but unfortunately, it came to an end, and the owner got a new dog, adopted a new dog, named Nero. And I was like, Nero's going to be the next Doge. And guess what? Nero, during the class, we all got it, and it 25x'd. And since then, it's done more multiples, but it got listed on a large centralized exchange called Binance. But we all bought it on MetaMask via Uniswap. And so we were able to catch these early. And let me tell you, in the class, there are people of all levels. There's some people that are completely not tech savvy at all. They bought on Uniswap. So I created a way to make it really easy to understand and learn. And even the least tech savvy people, people that just can do emails and stuff, like they don't know how to do buy and sell on decentralized exchanges, they can now do it. So I think it definitely tailors for a really good wide audience. Anywhere from beginners to intermediate, even advanced people benefit, because I find a lot of crypto alpha. Alpha is like a term for finding those gems that are big multipliers. Obviously, it's not financial advice, and not every single coin is going to explode like that. But I've had a really good track record of finding a lot of great things. There's another one recently that I found called Peanut. And Peanut, if you know, is unfortunately there was a New Yorker who owned a pet squirrel, domesticated, treated him like his own, family. But the authorities in New York broke into his home without a warrant, took Peanut and euthanized him. And it was a very sad story. The story went viral. Everyone was up in arms about it, upset about it. Well, Peanut got created into cryptocurrency, like a meme, right? So there were two different blockchains that you could buy Peanut from. And once again, I found that one early, and some of us got into that one and it did many multiples. One of them ended up on a centralized exchange. This one was kind of surprising because both the blockchains ended up taking off. Sometimes only one blockchain takes off. But this was a really great multiplier, and it's continued to do really well. So these are just examples of like hidden gems that that I help people find. Some of these are not utility coins. I do find utility coins too, but the goal of this is really to have fun, to make money, you know, as much money as you can while we're in the bull market, and then get out, because you don't want to hang on to these coins during the bear market. We don't know if these projects last. They might not. Most of them don't. So I'd say about 80% of the projects don't last. So it's just better to offload. And if it's something like a Bitcoin or maybe an XRP, you want to hold on to it really long term, but nothing else. Like I wouldn't hold on to anything throughout the bear market. It's just not worth it, you know? Does anybody have any questions about this? There are these buttons too. Oh, I should probably put this link in the chat too. And there's these buttons that if you like click on it, for example, it'll take you to the page and it'll really go into deep dive into what it is, when the sessions are. I will be adding some additional dates because I'm no longer going to be traveling for the holidays. I was originally going to be going to a very incredible trip to Egypt for my cousin's wedding. But I work with some crypto analysts, and I like to basically talk to them about the markets, and you know, and I asked them, I said, listen, I am having a bad feeling about leaving town during the bull market. You know, what do you guys think? And they're like, yeah, it's a bad idea. So basically I'm canceling a really amazing trip because this is very important to me and my students are very important to me. And I want to make sure that I'm in town to basically help people in every way that I can to navigate this, because like I said, this is an explosive market right now. We're in the heat of the bull run. Bitcoin just did a new all-time high. I think it was like close to 94,000. Yeah. It's pulled back a little bit to like 90,000 today. But, you know, when Bitcoin runs like that, pretty soon we're going to have something called altcoin season. And so even though I've been mentioning a few like cryptos that have been explosive, you're going to start having a lot more explosive crypto. Like almost everything is going to go up eventually once alt season starts. And then I teach people how to know when alt season is going to start and what I do in terms of scaling out and taking profits and things like that, just so you're not left holding the bags. That's what they say in crypto. You don't want to be left holding the bags at the end of the day. The people holding the bags are the ones that are just going to be down and out. And that's what I did back in 2018. I was one of those people. So we don't want to be one of those people, you know?
When you exit, do you take that out and get cash, literal cash, or how?
Yeah, you can convert it into cash. You can basically, you know, if you're on decentralized wallets, you can send it back to a centralized exchange like a Coinbase or a Kraken or crypto.com. And then you can, your bank is normally linked to one of these exchanges. And then you just convert it into USD. And then you just transfer it back to your bank. So if you want to do something like that, you can. It's very easy to convert it back to cash.
Is your course, is that the courses, are those held, those are like modules within your 1995 offer and the 23 or whatever? Are those are courses, and are they held on what are those platforms?
Oh yeah, right now my delivery system is I use Dropbox right now so you can access them, but I'm teaching this live. So these are live classes that I record on Zoom, and you can attend it live, or if you miss a class, I'll give you an example, then if you miss a class, you can re-watch it. So these are the dates that I'm teaching them live. It's Saturdays, Wednesdays, Saturdays and some Wednesdays. And then right now I have them living, like all the recordings are living on Dropbox, and you get a Dropbox link to each one. So I'll send you the recordings.
And how are you linking the payment method?
Oh, I use Stripe. So fortunately I'm using Book Like a Boss. Eventually I'm gonna merge into over to Kartra, but right now Book Like a Boss has been working really well for me. I have my corporate account linked to Stripe, which is linked to this. So people just use a credit card or whatever they want to do for
And
payment.
to a website, or you send them to a landing page that has Stripe linked to it?
Yeah. Like, let me see. This one is, let's go back to this. So this, I'll tell you the difference between these two because that was a really good question. This one here is the 8 session course, but you get 3 months of support. This one is the same thing. It's the 8 session course, but you get an entire 1 year of support. So we continue to meet minimum twice a month for an entire year. So you get to ask any questions that you have, and I continue to send you guys these potential 20 to 100x gems.
I put the link in there for you, Delilah.
Oh, you did? You put it in there?
Yeah, the link's in the chat, so they've got access to that page now.
Oh yeah, and please use John's code also. Let me go ahead and pull that up. I have a new code here for John. This will, oh, here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and copy and paste these for you guys, but you can use John's code for sign up. So for the Fast Start into Crypto holiday bundle, John's code is John Holiday Bundle. I kept it really simple. And then for the Fast Start into Crypto non-bundle, you just use John Holiday 1.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for sharing that with everybody. Looks like Brady's got a question there.
Sure.
Hey, Delilah, I don't have any interest in coaching, but I understand the value. I know a lot of folks that have no clue about crypto, and I apologize if you can't hear me. I'm on the go. Do you have an affiliate link that we can sign up as an affiliate to drive people to your class?
Yes, I do actually. I can send it to you. Do you have a
Just send it to Brady at Internet Dominators.
Oh, okay, great. We'll do.
Cool. I can't promise anything, but it's worth it.
Awesome. Well, yeah, there's like in crypto, I've been teaching people like the long game, and I'm like Delilah was talking about the utility stuff. I'm the king of utility, but utility is a long game. What she's got her head wrapped around is the short game, and it happens once every 4 years, and that 4 years is like up. I know a lot of people have been sitting through a very painful last 3 years as crypto has just done nothing but gone down. But it's all based on cycles. And we're at the bottom of the cycle of a massive wave. And I don't know anybody that has gotten this figured out more than Delilah does. So if you want that information, I would say that would be a really, really good opportunity for you. So
thanks for having me, John. I appreciate it.
yeah, can you I hope you can jump onto our 2 o'clock when I do my crypto call.
Oh my God, yes, I will totally jump on that for sure.
Yeah.
Can you explain about, I remember when it went down, when it was high and then it came down to 14 and then now it's back up at whatever it is now today. But I mean, it dropped down to 14 when everybody was all made a whole bunch of money and then all of a sudden it was 14.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't like holding the bags.
let me just kind of say something that I've thought like since day one. Crypto is much bigger than what people imagine. When people think of crypto, they think of Bitcoin. And when I think of crypto, I think of a much bigger landscape. And when I think of Bitcoin, I think distraction. Bitcoin, I believe, is the distraction in the crypto world. That's where they want you focused. You will see there's been a massive, massive shift in the narrative over the last 6 months from financial institutions saying, stay out of this. It's a scam. It's nothing but money laundering and, all of this crap, to now they're shoveling people into it like there's no tomorrow. But they're shoveling you into Bitcoin specifically. And that's where all the focus is. And I say that's a distraction because the real money that's going to be made from here forward, yeah, there was a ton of money made with Bitcoin. I'll give you that. But it's a distraction. And I think it's, and I'm not saying it's not going to keep going up because it is. But the stuff Delilah's talking about and the utility stuff that I focus on, it's going to go up like as though you were in the beginning of Bitcoin, not on the end of Bitcoin. You're at the tail end now. So like, think about this. I talked about cycles. It all goes in cycles. They're on 4-year cycles. They happen to coincide with an election that happens every 4 years. Maybe that's a coincidence and maybe not, but they talk about the guy Satoshi Nakamoto that designed and developed Bitcoin. Well, I am about 99% sure I know who that is. And it's 3 people. It's not one person. It's 3 people. And all 3 of them worked at the NSA when Bitcoin was developed. All 3 of them were under an NDA and still under an NDA, which is why no one can know who Satoshi Nakamoto is. And those 3 have developed side chains that are not Bitcoin. Like I said, Bitcoin, I think, is the distraction. So that's the utility stuff that I focus on. So you got the utility on one side, and then you got the massive bumps that happen in the altcoins, which is what Delilah specializes in. So the cycles, if you think back to the first cycle of Bitcoin, when Bitcoin was pennies, and it went from pennies up to like $10 in the first cycle. Going from a penny to $10 is what, like 10,000 times your money? That's crazy. There's never been anything in the history of the world that would 10,000 times your money, in like over a weekend. And then you had the cycle. Then it went down. So you had that big spike. Then it goes down for 3 years. And then systematically within the software, it does what's called a halving, where it cuts the mining utility in half. And I know I'm probably talking way over a lot of people's heads here, but too bad. I'm just going to grease over it. I'm not going into detail. But this thing called the halving happens every 4 years, just like clockwork, and it's on an algorithm that's based on the software. Crypto is nothing more than software. It's not a coin. You can't hold it in your hands. They just say that so you can imagine what it looks like. But anyway, the cycle happens. 4 years later, it halves. And then 6 months after the halving, you get this massive spike. And then after the spike, you got 3 years worth of downslide. And then it happens again. So on the second round, the $10 thing, first spike was like from a penny to $10. 4 years later, the $10 went into the thousands of dollars. And then the thousands of dollars went into the tens of thousands of dollars. And the last one took us up to $60,000 in 2020. Now we're in 2024, and you're starting to see it go again. It just went from wherever it was up to $90,000, and it ain't over yet. It's got another probably 6 months run up, maybe a year. But here it's going to go from, where it left off at 60, it'll probably go up to maybe 150, 160. Let's say 180 for simple math. That's a 3x, right? The first one, 10,000x. The second one, maybe 1,000x. The third one, 100x. And then 10x. Now we're down to 3x. So the coins that Delilah's talking about are the ones that are in the penny range that are about to go 10,000 times. That's why you want to focus there, not focus on the Bitcoin. Bitcoin at best is going to give you a 3x, which is great. Well, a lot of people would love a 3x, right? But
have you heard of something called, I saw a thread on, I think it was called W3 or Web3, and there's attached to something called Guard.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Okay.
Web3 really is crypto. Blockchain.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I need to revisit that thread, but
so anyway, all right. Well, I am going to, Brady, you got one more thing for us? You had your hand up there again.
No, I must just keep my hand up. Sorry. I'm in the
okay.
car. My
No worries.
apologies.
No worries. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. We've been over 2 hours now. So I'm going to wrap up. And I know this wasn't supposed to be a crypto class, but I couldn't resist letting Delilah share that with you guys because it's really cool. It's a really good opportunity. And both her and I are very passionate about different ends of the scale on crypto, but it's all good and it's all going to make a lot of people a lot of money in the very near future. So we don't want to hide that. We want that out in the public. So have a great week, guys. We will be back on
Thanks, John.
next week, and all the best to all of you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.